The pioneers of aviation once claimed that flying is possible even without engines, but it requires skill and know-how. Today, you'll get to see this firsthand as we showcase incredible feats of aviation, like fighter jets breaking the sound barrier. Ready to take off? Let's embark on this adventure together. Take a look at this amazing F-22 Cobra and its impressive flare maneuver at the Wings Over Wayne Air Show 2023 at Seymour Johnson AFB, North Carolina. And witnessing a 90-degree turn with afterburners by the F-22 Raptor isn't a sight you come across frequently. This move performed by the Air Force is a little different from the Cobra maneuver, as it's designed specifically for landing jets on ships at sea. The jet initially descends below the landing area, staying vertical in the air to slow down completely before touching down in this unique way. I strongly advise against trying to build your own helicopter at home. However, some people in Africa seem to have successfully made one. Though they're facing a big problem. It can't get off the ground. However, these folks decided to take homemade helicopters to another level by inventing what they call a hungarocopter, capable of performing incredible maneuvers. In this sport, it seems like even the smallest errors can have big consequences. Flying remains quite technical, especially when you're gliding close to the ground of the crack. Overall, it's a 10 out of 10 experience. You remember saying it was loud and tough to hear, but seeing it in person takes it to a whole new level. When a guy took his wife to an air show, she was completely stunned by the sheer volume as the Vulcan bomber displayed its immense power. Belgian Air Force personnel are genuinely encountering a Mission Impossible-like situation in their real-world experience. If you're hoping for a nice beach outing, it's best to skip beaches that are near airports. Take a look at this footage yourself. Watching F-16s at an air show is impressive, but seeing them from the pilot's viewpoints adds an extra level of awe. Check out the F-16 Viper demo with Mahjong Rain Waters during Memorial Day weekend in Miami. These folks have incredible skills and incredible bravery to gather the courage needed for pulling off such daring moves. But that walk in the air really steals the show. One of the standout attractions at the Singapore Air Show is a Sukhoi Su-30 MKM, specially designed for the Royal Malaysian Air Force. With thrust vectoring capabilities, it puts on an impressive display of aerobatics, including the Cobra maneuver. Picture the perspective of an Army paratrooper as they soar through the sky above a designated landing area. Staff Sergeant Paul O'Brien, a U.S. Army jump master, gives us a first-hand view as he guides his group during Exercise Falcon Leap. Watch as they descend onto the Genkelsey High Drop Zone in the Netherlands. Imagine you're out in your yard relaxing with your family when suddenly an Apache helicopter comes in for an emergency landing right in your backyard. That's exactly what happened to these folks when the helicopter faced some serious issues with its hydro system, forcing the pilot to land quickly. After touching down, now imagine the rush of excitement as you descend from the sky, landing in a stadium filled with cheering fans. That's exactly what the members of the U.S. Navy parachute team, the Leapfrogs, experienced as they jumped into Neyland Stadium to kick off the Orange vs. White UT Vols spring scrimmage football game during Knoxville Navy Week on April 16, 2016.
All the way!
I'm here working hard to pay off debts and struggling to afford decent meals, while there are people up in the sky doing skateboard tricks. Skydiver Jay Alvarez decided to combine his skills by skateboarding thousands of feet above the ground. And these folks show incredible bravery, taking on stunts that most people wouldn't even consider attempting due to their instincts, and their skill level is truly impressive. Observing a space shuttle launch from the ground is one experience, but witnessing it from an airplane takes it to a whole new level.
We can pan over real quick so I can get a full shot of the ground and everything.
You might think you've witnessed low passes, but what Russian Sukhoi test pilot Anthony Kovacher pulled off in a Sukhoi Su-30 flanker takes it to a whole new level. This wasn't a stunt, it was the real deal, believe it or not. As expected, no one had ever attempted this daring feat before, but that didn't stop experienced skydiver Sebastian Alvarez from giving it a shot. Known for his fearless jumps over volcanoes, Alvarez took on the challenge with a new suit design and careful preparation. In the end, he made history as the first person to glide into and out of an active volcano while wearing a wingsuit. These folks recently dropped $20,000 on a pretty hefty drone for some specific reason that seems to make sense given the cost. The amount of trust they have in each other is pretty impressive, don't you think? Do you reckon the results justified the investment? Let us know what you think in the comments below. The F-22 Raptor is supremely confident against any aerial opponent, yet it remains vulnerable to the sudden risk of stalling and plummeting uncontrollably. Luckily, this pilot was skilled enough to save himself and the expensive plane. Now check out this 97-year-old World War II vet and ex-paratrooper as he recreates his jump at Omaha Beach, marking 75 years since he first jumped during D-Day. These guys were out flying their RC planes when suddenly an Apache attack helicopter spotted them and decided to give them a tree they'll never forget.
Are you having that? You saluted to me as well.
Recently licensed pilot Vincent Frazier was flying with his father-in-law over the mountains when their single-engine plane experienced engine failure. Fortunately, amidst avoiding power lines during their descent, he skillfully executed an emergency landing on a bustling highway, avoiding collision with any vehicles. Imagine you're a cop cruising through a peaceful neighborhood when you notice a solo plane engine behaving strangely, prompting an emergency touchdown. This KR-2 single-prop aircraft flies over the officer's vehicle, prompting him to turn around and trail the plane as it touches down in the middle of State Route 7 in Spanaway, around 40 miles south of Seattle. Watching cars race is one thing, but have you witnessed a massive Boeing 747 overtaking a Boeing 737? It's truly remarkable to see these two giants in motion.
See how it is, yeah.
Amazing.
Although it appears as though the FA-18 Hornet is breaking the sound barrier, it's actually not. The cloud-like formation around the jet is a result of vapor pressure, a phenomenon that occurs during transonic flight. To commemorate Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee, 70 military planes, jets, and helicopters soared over London during the Trooping the Colour ceremony. Well, this sheds light on things. A Chinese technology company has recently revealed their manned flying saucer, with the intention of employing it as a means of transportation for tourists. A true scientist and inventor often walk a fine line between genius and madness in their quest for groundbreaking creations. This rings true for one individual who's currently crafting a hoverboard, dubbed the Mark. However, guaranteeing its safety requires subjecting it to a battery of challenging tests. This innovative aircraft is known as the Ziva Aero. Designed for eco-friendly travel through the skies, it ascends vertically, then swiftly moves forward, maintaining a steady speed of 160 miles per hour for efficient cruising. Back in 1934, the peculiarly shaped aircraft, known as the umbrella plane, took its maiden test flight. Featuring a distinctive wing design, its goal was to provide stability and effortless control, thereby making flying accessible to a broader audience. Despite its unconventional appearance and modest capabilities compared to modern aircraft, it still boasts a striking visual appeal. In the future, there's a possibility of having aircraft that can continuously fly without needing to land. Take, for instance, this prototype of a remotely piloted solar-powered aircraft developed by NASA. Imagine the scene. You're on your morning commute sitting on a bus when, out of nowhere, a Navy helicopter crash lands right on top of it. Turns out, the Mexican Navy chopper was on its way to areas affected by Hurricane Grace. Luckily, no one was hurt in the incident, which is a huge relief for everyone involved. When trying to land at Naval Air Station JRB, Fort Worth, a pilot had to bail out of a Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II fighter jet, leading to the expensive plane crashing down. And that's a wrap for today's video. Which aviation moment caught your attention the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to give us a like, share this video, and turn on notifications to keep up with our upcoming content. Thanks for tuning in.